Hi guys, and welcome back to another video on my channel. For those of you that might not have met me before, my name is Emily and it all started with a blog on YouTube. I started my YouTube channel and blog page about a year ago, and I am obsessed with all things to do with Disneyland Paris. So that's usually what my blogs will be about. There's a lot of people on the YouTube community that vlog and blog about Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resort in California, but there's not many that are specifically to do with Disneyland Paris, so I thought I would try and hone in on that little niche market there. I've been to Disneyland Paris 16 times now, and my 17th time is coming up in April 2019, so I consider myself a little bit of a Disneyland Paris expert. If you want to go and click the big red subscribe button down below, obviously I would be completely grateful for that, and you can see all of my upcoming videos to do with my trips. Now, today's video is all about how to meet characters without feeling awkward. I know a lot of people who want to meet the characters but end up getting to the interactions and feeling really awkward, don't know what to do, don't know what to say, that sort of stuff. Now, I've met characters quite a lot over the last few years, but I used to be afraid of them. I used to not want to go anywhere near them. I'd be happy looking at them from a distance and waving at them in parades and stuff like that, but when I went with my family when I was younger, I didn't want to go near them, whereas my brother would be the person that would go running up to them and throw his arms around them. So I've been on that other side, and I've been the person who's not wanted to go near them and been a bit awkward if I have, because I wasn't sure what to say. So this video is just going to highlight the things that I think you should do if you want to get a good character interaction, particularly if you are a little bit awkward doing it. For those of you that may not know, there are two different types of characters that you can meet at Disney. There are face characters and there are fur characters. Face characters refer to the ones that are like the princesses and Peter and Wendy and those sort of people, that they can talk to you, you can interact with them human to human, usually it's a human character. So princesses and Peter and Wendy are all human in their stories. The fur characters, as the name suggests, are the characters that have usually fur. So that's characters like Mickey and Minnie, Donald, Goofy, Pluto, Chip and Dale, those sort of characters. They're the ones that can't talk to you. So you are the one talking to them and they are going to be reacting back to you. If you have children that might question why some characters can talk and some can't, or in fact as an adult, if you want to question those sort of things, the best reason that I can think of that I would be telling my own children is that animals can't talk in real life. They can't talk. So therefore Disney characters that are animals can't talk either. But in the film and the TV shows that they're in, they got an actor in to put voices to these characters. So that's probably the way that I would go for it. There will be loopholes, of course, like in shows Mickey can talk, but when he's interacting with you in a meet and greet he can't. But yeah, just try and figure out different ways that you can potentially explain that to a child. We are going to start with the fur characters because they are usually the ones that are slightly more difficult to interact with if you don't really know what to do. So first things first is plan exactly what you're going to say. I know that sounds quite obvious as a tip, but obviously the things that I'm going to say to you next are going to help you plan what to do and say. But I would definitely go and say, if I'm going to meet Donald, this is what I want to do. Because a lot of these characters have had enough interactions to know that some people don't want to talk, some people do, some people want to do this, some people want to do that. And the character will react in response to whatever it is that you do. I would always say, hug the character. When you go up to them, give them a cuddle, and that's a good thing just to break the ice. You've then had that interaction with them. They're always excited to see you. So therefore, when they're excited to see you, you automatically become a little bit excited to see them as well. And that little hug just breaks the ice. Another thing you can do is obviously ask them for a photo. So you can say, can we have a photo together? Or ask the cast member, can we all have a photo, or can me and him have a photo, that sort of stuff. Just ask the character for a photo. The character will go yes and nod at you and you will have a photo. I usually save the photo till the end because that's usually the kind of round off of the whole interaction. If you want to have a conversation with them, then of course do so, but I'd leave the photos to the end, otherwise that's usually a signal that you're willing to leave. Another thing you can do is to actually ask them for a photo by themselves. So just say, can I take a photo of you? And if it's someone like Donald, then he will do his classic Donald Duck pose. The asking for a photo of the character by themselves is actually a good thing as well, because it means that you don't have to interact with them anymore if you're getting a bit uncomfortable. But they're doing something and they feel like, you know, you've got enough time together as a meet and greet without it feeling a little bit too uncomfortable. You can wear character merchandise, so character t-shirts, character ears, character bags, that sort of stuff. It doesn't even necessarily have to be the character that you're meeting at the time. So for instance, if you're meeting Donald Duck, you don't have to be wearing a Donald Duck pair of ears in order for him to get excited. If you're wearing Minnie ears, he could be pointing at them and going, that's my friend Minnie, I know that, that's Minnie. Or you could say to them, do you like my Minnie ears? And he could go, yeah, that's amazing, in his sort of exaggerated movements that he would do. Oh, there's a beautiful car alarm going off in the background. But equally, if you do have merchandise that's of that character, so if you have any Donald Duck merchandise, that would be really great to go take to his meet and greet, because then you get a really, really good interaction. He gets excited, the cast members that are the people supporting him, taking pictures, they get really excited about it as well. Donald would probably then go to the cast members, look at this, and they'd be like, wow, Donald, that's amazing. And when they get involved, again, it's a little bit less awkward because you've got someone else to do the interacting with you. Along the same lines as that, if you have a prop of some sort, so for instance, if you had an umbrella or something like that, or potentially even a shopping bag, you've bought some merchandise from the shops and you've got the Disneyland Paris shopping bag, something like that, that they could get interested by. For instance, if you've got an umbrella, they would probably be quite excited by that. Someone like Donald or Goofy or even Chip and Dale that are a bit mischievous, they could potentially take the umbrella, put it up and start running around with it. Something like that. Daisy, for instance, last time I was there, I had some ears and they were kind of orangey sort of colours. And she was wearing a bright blue outfit. You might have seen this in my previous vlog. But she was wearing a bright blue outfit and she took my ears and tried to put them on. But the person that was with her, she said, no, Daisy, they're not blue. It's not going to match. And she got really sad. And then I said to her, next time I come, I'll bring her some blue ears. And then she got really excited about it. So it's just little things like that. If you've got a prop that can actually lead the interaction, it's much, much better. I'll link that little interaction down below actually, because it is good fun and worth watching. So in the description box I'll put the vlog that one came up on. Again, with the theme of props, if you can think of a really cool photo opportunity. So going back to the umbrella idea, if you have an umbrella and you want to take a really good picture, if just off the top of my head, if you had the umbrella and you put it up and held it in front of you all, and then you had like Donald peeking up the top and two of you peeking out the side or something. Just something cute like that. If you had an idea and then tell the character about it. Say, can we do a cool photo where we do this, this, this and this? And the character is very, very likely to go, yes, absolutely, let's do that. And then you've got a fun photo and you've not had an awkward interaction either. And the only thing that really could get in your way is because they can't talk back, you need to just make it very clear as to what it is that you want from this photo op. One of the most amazing interactions I've had was in October 2017, about a year ago now, which is where they had the Halloween parade. It was the Mickey's Tricycle Gang, and Winnie the Pooh was on one of the little tricycles, and he was dressed as a honeybee. And for those of you that don't know, Winnie the Pooh is just my favourite ever character. He's just so cute, particularly in the parks. He's adorable. But he was there on this tricycle, he was dressed as a honeybee, and he saw me in the distance because I had little Diddy Pooh with me. And I had this little Pooh and I was just going like this at him. I wasn't expecting him to really see it. It was more just like on the off chance if he saw it, he might wave at me or something like that. but he actually stopped the tricycle, got off and came running over to me, completely ignoring all the other people that he'd run straight past, who were going, Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh! And he came straight to me, and he took little Pooh straight off me and started jumping up and down and hugging him and all that sort of stuff. So it's one of the most amazing interactions. I then met him and Eeyore the next trip, so this year, January. I met him and Eeyore at their meet and greet spot near Casey Jr. And I took Diddy Pooh again, and he was very excited. There's a very cute video. Again, I might link both these down below, the October trip and the January trip. There's a very cute video of him coming up to the camera going, ooh, with Diddy Pooh looking very excited. So yes, bringing something like a teddy, which I'm sure many people will have, bringing something like a teddy is amazing. Bringing a Minnie Mouse teddy to a Mickey meet and greet is the cutest thing as well, because he gets so excited about seeing Minnie. So all these things, even if it's not the right character, bring it anyway and just go, what do you think of this? And chances are they'll get very excited. Bring an autograph book. So this is my autograph book. I got several of them last time. Daisy, Mickey, Eeyore and Winnie. That was the cute one that I just told you all about. So you've got lots of cute characters in here. Bear in mind that if you don't speak to them first, chances are they will sign in French, because the characters are slightly different. So Rabbit, for instance, from Winnie the Pooh, is Coco Lapin. That's what he's called in French. And Goofy is Dingo. So if they don't hear you speak English, chances are they will sign in French. Chip and Dale are Tick and Tack. And it gets very confusing. Again, particularly with children who might not quite understand why it's in French, even though they're in France. They might not get, because they don't call them Tick and Tack, etc. It's quite difficult to try and explain that. So try and talk to them in English first and say, hi Goofy, hi Chip and Dale, hi Rabbit, so that the character understands that you are English and will change their autograph depending on what it is that you speak. Please also be aware that some characters don't autograph. They can't sign because it's difficult for the character themselves to hold a pen. For instance, someone like Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear does not sign. You can understand he's got very mechanic hands. It will be very difficult for him to sign an autograph. People like Darth Vader don't sign. I'm not sure why that is. I believe it's probably because of his mask. It might be quite hard for Darth Vader to do that. Also bear in mind, Darth Vader is human. You know, that's what he is in his story in Disney. He is human, but he does not talk. So please be aware that Darth Vader does not talk. So actually there are a few anomalies in my rules about the face characters that talk and the ones that don't. But Darth Vader, because he has a mask on, does not talk to you. I don't have a definitive list at the moment, but I probably could actually get one and post it on my blog at some point very soon. That those that don't sign, some of them have a stamp. So for instance, Buzz Lightyear I know has a stamp. So you could go to Buzz, say, can I have an autograph? And he'll stamp an autograph rather than sign it. But I will get a definitive list at some point and see if I can post it on my blog for those of you who are interested. The last thing to think about when it comes to fur characters is perhaps having a question that you can ask them. So, you know, something that's a little bit quirky, a little bit interesting, they might not have heard it before, and just gauge their reaction. The most important thing about a meet and greet is that you need to be the one that's leading it. You are gauging their reactions, you are making the questions that gain their reactions, and you just need to kind of be in charge of it. If it's becoming a bit awkward, that's when you then ask for a photo or for an autograph. But if you have a question, for instance, last time I saw Donald, I went up to her and it was raining, I was absolutely chucking it down with rain, and I said, because you're a duck, I said, do you like rain or do you not? And he looked at me for a minute and he went, and then he went, which I took to be, oh, well, you know, it's neither here nor there. I don't really mind either way. So just a bit of a silly question that they can kind of laugh at and then carry on. and you get a little bit of reaction from them. Make sure it's something that they can react to. So you don't necessarily want to do something like, oh, you know, how long are you here doing meet and greets? Because if they said, you know, till 3 o'clock, that's quite difficult for them to kind of go. Or something like that. You know, you've got to make sure that it's almost a yes or no answer. Because that's going to be easier for them to go no or yes. And a lot of them will think as well first. They'll kind of be like, So yes, definitely make sure that you've got something that they are able to answer. If all else fails, the best thing to do is just ask them how they are. Ask them how their day's been. That's something they can really easily answer. You can say, hi Donald, how are you? And he can go, yep, great. And then point at you. And then you can answer, yeah, I'm really good, thanks. Have you had a good day? He will nod. Point at you, you will say, yeah, it's been great. Okay, so just make sure that you're doing something that they can answer. I would say the standard setup for a meet and greet would be, you go in, you give them a hug, you say, hi, how are you? They mime, yes, I'm very good, thank you. How are you? You say, yep, life is great. We've done lots of great stuff today. How about you check out this thing that I've got with me? Producer's prop. They get excited. Oh wow, how amazing is that? And then you go ahead and say, can we have an autograph and a few pictures? He then goes ahead, signs his autograph. Then you take a few pictures with your said prop. And then you are on your way, and you can ask for some individual pictures of them if you also wish to. Now, I know that's a lot of information to gain in 15 minutes, but I'm hoping that it's quite helpful for you guys who are a bit awkward with the fur characters because there's less interaction. As a dialogue, it's more of a you're speaking to someone who can't speak back. Just a few handy tips on face characters. Face characters are a lot easier to interact with. That's my personal opinion. I know some people who actually find it worse interacting with face characters because they're talking to you and you don't know how to react. But for me personally, it's easier because I don't have to think about what I have to say. I just answer their questions. So the face characters will lead most of the conversation, particularly if they notice that you are quite shy and uncomfortable in that situation. If you're meeting somebody like Rapunzel, for instance, if you met her in the Princess Pavilion or at the Princess Lunch, or just out and about if she happens to do a pop-up meet and greet, she could say something to you like, oh, I hope you're having the best day ever. And obviously that's a reference back to her story, where she is swinging around the tree and going, best day ever. So she's making reference to her story that you can then be like, actually, yeah, it is the best day ever. She can then say something like, what have you done? And you can tell her all the rides you've been on, all the shows you've seen, that sort of stuff. If you haven't done anything yet, you can say, well, actually, we haven't done anything yet. We've just got here, but today we want to do this, 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 and this. Okay, so actually the conversation flows a lot easier. If you find yourself talking to the face character about something, make sure you refer to their story. Try to avoid saying things like, I watched your film, or you were on telly that one time, because, you know, if you're talking to Snow White about that, Snow White doesn't have a telly. She doesn't know what a film is. She has a story though, and she knows what her story is because she's lived it. So just make sure that you are referring to their story, and if you can come up with some questions again that you're gonna ask these characters, it makes the interaction A, far easier for the character, and B, far better for you as a memory. So you could say to Peter Pan, have you been to Neverland recently? Or what's Neverland like in the winter? Or something like that. Something really cute and quirky. Puts them on the spot a little bit, but he can, you know, then tell you all about what Neverland is like in the winter. And I'm sure it would be a really great interaction. Or you could say to Cinderella, how is Prince Charming? And she might say, yeah, he's doing great. He has the sniffles, or something like that. So refer to their story, but make sure it's something interesting as well. Give them something a little bit extra. I'm sure they do several hundred meet and greets a week, these characters. And if Peter Pan has to do several hundred meet and greets a week, I'm sure he's really thankful for those that are really interesting because they've got something new to bring to the table. My most important tip to finish off is just to relax and to have fun. These characters know what they're doing. They've done it for years. They have the right ideas of what people do during interactions. They've seen it all. You are not going to be abnormal in any way. Just relax, enjoy yourself, try and think of things that might be able to aid your discomfort, I suppose. But more importantly, these are memories that you are making. So just make sure you get pictures. If you have an autograph book, get autographs and just enjoy the magical time. It's not very often that you get to meet your childhood heroes in the flesh. So that's the way I love to think about it. I loved Winnie the Pooh growing up, and every time I meet him in the Disney parks, it just brings a smile to my face because it's like meeting a celebrity. I don't get to meet Tom Hardy every time I go to Disneyland Paris. I get to meet my other celebrity heroes who are my wonderful, wonderful Disney friends. So just think of it in that way. It's a magical time. It's a magical feeling. You are meeting those that you have been with since your childhood. So try not to worry. Make sure you're relaxed, and I'm sure you're going to do a great job at your next meet and greets. Let me know down in the comments if you have any extra tips for other people that might be watching this video. Any tips on how to do a good meet and greet. Also be sure to let me know in other videos that you want me to film, particularly to do in Disneyland Paris, or just Disney in general. I always love hearing from you guys and hearing how you're planning for your next trips, and when your next trips are. I will be in Disneyland Paris in April 2019 and I cannot wait, so please continue to follow me on my journey. Thank you once again for watching. Be sure to like this and give it a big thumbs up. Click the subscribe button and I will see you guys next time for the next vlog. Bye!